That was the stupidest. That was the stupidest, most awesome, but ridiculously dumb, but really fucking cool. What? Joe, I had to pause. Joe's laughing because he saw it twice now. I saw it, and I had to pause. It was literally 2 minutes in, and I had already said, this is the dumbest shit ever. Vader, okay, so there's some really awesome stuff in this episode, and we're going to get to that. Mm-hmm. But first, there is too much stupid to ignore here. You have to point out the bad writing. Otherwise, we are going to continue to get this kind of garbage over and over. And it's getting bad now. And I think it's because they are rushing, right?
Oh, for sure.
The episode, they're like, they're like, okay, let's wrap this up. We got to get to the duel, and we got to finish all the plot lines. And it is literally dumb, lazy writing. Vader is chasing. So they set this up I said, please don't do this. I was thinking in my head, I was like, there's no fucking way our hyperdrive is down. Don't you fucking, you already kind of did The Last Jedi with the last episode where he's doing this. Are you going to do this whole Last Jedi thing where the ship is slowly following in a slow speed chase? And then it's even worse than a slow speed chase. It is comical, the shot where their ship is like juking left and right, but it looks so wrong. It almost looks like fucking Spaceballs, guys. In fact, there were several times in this episode that I was thinking Spaceballs, and that should not be a thing in the most epic episode, which I think this is one of the better episodes, but also one of the worst. So it's like the writers, the directors, whoever is responsible here, I need answers, because Vader is literally chasing a ship down. They're firing all of their turbo lasers at this tiny fucking transport ship. And apparently, this fucking transport ship has better shields than all of the fucking rebel ships and cruisers and capital ships. Because if I get the timing right, at the beginning of the episode, Reva is already on motherfucking Tatooine, the planet. Yes. And then Obi-Wan then gets there like just in time, so that means that that this Star Destroyer was chasing this fucking ship for hours, days, hours. I'll give him hours
with increased firepower.
Well, no. Don't you dare get ahead of me, Joe, because this is so fucking stupid. You're seeing all these lasers go out, and they can't hit them. Who is at the controls?
Major asshole.
It's Major Asshole. Who is firing? I am, sir. What? Major Asshole and his brother and cousin.
He's my cousin, sir.
They literally could not fucking hit this ship. And instead, where are the... And Vader comes up. I'm like, oh, God, finally Vader will get rid of this nonsense, and he'll slap around or choke whatever fucking, General Hux, is on this ship. But no, he says, and I shit you not, he says, increase firepower. Written by somebody who doesn't understand Star Wars, doesn't know any of the lore, doesn't know any of the ships, and the war of Star Wars. Increase firepower.
Yeah, take it to 11.
Where are the fighters? The motherfucking TIE fighters? Do you remember these things? Launch all fighters is what he would have said. And so when something is so ridiculous, it's almost comical, the way it's filmed, the way it's presented, the way people are talking. In this first 2 minutes, how Reva's already there, and she's like, yeah, push, push it. Reva takes out a bully. Everyone like Reva now. She's fighting the bullies, everybody. Are you fucking shitting me? Reva murders younglings. She murders Jedi. She hangs them in the fucking court town fucking center. And all of a sudden, I'm supposed to feel, fucking sympathy for Reva.
People can change,
Reva.
Man.
Everybody said, Joe, I like the way you say Reva. No, I guess it's Reva. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't care because this is dumb as fuck. So Vader says, increase firepower, as if that does nothing. And it does absolutely nothing. They literally fire more lasers, and apparently the turbo lasers are even bigger now.
Hit faster.
It is so stupid, and I was not letting this get away. I don't give a fuck if you excused it. I have to point this out because this ship has the strongest shields in the galaxy.
Yeah.
He even goes, Ice Cube's son goes, more power to the real shields. Are you fucking kidding me? Did you not already do that? You haven't done that in the past 7 hours where you're getting shot and chased. All right, fine. Reva's in the planet already. She stops the fucking bully. And then Leia says, okay, no, then we cut back to the ship that's escaping, right? I'm already in blow for blow because I have to describe how dumb the sequence of events is. Leia's like, they are scared. They are scared, so she had to cheer them up with a robot. Leia's not scared because Leia cannot be scared. Leia's 9 years old, but we can't show Leia scared because she's like the best person. She's like the best person in the galaxy. She's like the most competent, the most powerful with the Force, the most intelligent. She can hack anything, hack doors. And then when we get the original trilogy, she forgets it all. And she's like, dumb as, help me, help me. And then she gets better. You're taking away Leia's arc. Leia's arc from the original films. You're fucking it up. You're telling me that she already had this massive arc. She's like a prodigy. And then she forgets, and then she does it all over again. Okay, fine. And man, this looks like Spaceballs. Because they do another cut where the ship is still dodging. And Obi-Wan says, oh no, Ice Cube's son comes up and is like, we can't do the engine. What does he say?
We don't have time.
We don't have time to engine.
Yeah, we don't have time to do the fix. We're gonna die. And then
he's like,
Obi-Wan's like, no, I'll get in this drop pod you've got, and then
I'll buy you some time.
And then the very next scene, Ice Cube's son's like, you don't have to do this. I can fix
the
engine.
engine.
It's like your literal last
You literally
line.
just said we don't have time for this.
It's too late. I'm
But then
already going.
it was more like I mean, what is this writing? I get it. He's supposed to be like, no, I'll pay the check. You'll pay the check or I'll pay the check. It's like you're just saying it, even though you don't know. You know it can't happen.
You're like,
Nah,
you show the
pay
card, but you don't really want to extend.
I just want to say you're gonna die. So he says you're gonna die. Say, keep yourself safe. And he's like, you too, Roku. And I guess we got the TV. He's named after their TV. Is Roku?
Roken, I think.
Roken?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I like him. I wish they gave him better material, Roken, and he will lead the rebellion, and he'll have his own spin-off series, I guess. But they just didn't give him good material. So then we go back to the Spaceball scene where they dump out an Obi-Wan ship from the back of the other ship, and then, shit you not, Vader and Uncle Fester.
Yeah, Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester is like so bad. He's now back in the series after vengeance is a powerful life giver or whatever, and everybody's alive. I'm alive. Reva's alive. Qui-Gon's dead. Anyways, he's like, sir. Vader's like, go after Obi-Wan, and the Grand Inquisitor's like, but sir, the path, these rebels are the only thing that matters. The Grand Inquisitor, who used to be a Jedi, if you didn't know, he was on the Jedi. He was a Jedi Council guardsman in the past. His whole fucking thing is to hunt Jedi, and the most powerful Jedi, the biggest Jedi, the one that says the one that they need to get is going that way. And he's like, no, we need to follow these ragtag fucking idiots that fucking have the best shields in the galaxy when they could just fire a goddamn probe. They can launch all fighters. Again, the pilots from episode 4 are still suffering from Montezuma's revenge. They all have diarrhea. They're all occupied. Occupado. Because there's no fighters in Star Wars universe anymore. Because that would require them to go into their fucking closet. Disney has all of these models. You can get off your lazy fucking ass and get the models out and film it in a different way. Anyways.
But what, doesn't Vader have a ship? Couldn't you put like Vader's ship on one
That's
and the big
right.
ship
That's
on the
right
other one?
Here's the TIE Advanced.
No, I mean just his like personal shuttle.
Oh, he could do that too. No, but he does that. I thought you meant...
No, they said both ships after one.
Yeah.
They said both ships after Obi-Wan.
Did you not see it turning?
Yeah,
it's turning.
Both ships go after one.
And I did notice it turning because then I was like, because the Star Destroyer kind of looked wrong in one shot, and then it looked right in that one. I was like, okay, maybe they are using a model, or I don't know, CGI. I just wish they would use... Anyways, fine. So, yeah, they could have done that too. So it's like, oh, my God, what is going on? I actually went the timestamps. Like, the first 13 minutes are fucking stupid. Only when Obi-Wan directs Vader's attention and gets him to go to this meaningless planet, which, by the way, how convenient that planet is there. But okay, fine. I thought they were going to fight on the Star Destroyer.
At this point, whatever.
I thought they were going to fight on the ship. At this point, whatever. Please just stop this stupidity. And it stops the stupidity momentarily for one of the most awesome fucking scenes ever. From minute 13:30, I think it was, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff I have been waiting for. Like, Vader is fucking hyped. He's ready to fucking get Obi. He's got his goal right there. Obi's already waiting for him. He has come into his own. He's reconnected with the Force. He's been training. I mean, the thing kind of falls apart if you think about it too much, because it's like, why would Obi, who his whole job is to protect Luke, cut himself off from the Force? The one thing, he's cut himself off from the Force, and he's trying to commune with Qui-Gon, and he can't because he's cut himself off from the Force. And how is he supposed to protect Luke when shit goes down? Okay, but anyway, we need an arc. Yeah. So they give him a mark. Now he's badass Obi again. We even get the fucking Obi form, okay? We get the, I'm going to call it the Ewan McGregor form, because he's the one that get, I know it's like form 3 or some shit, but whatever. We get it. He's like, and they trade lines, and I'm like, oh, fucking member berries up in here. Just member berries, nostalgia. He says, what does he say? Fuck. I didn't write it down. What?
Have you come?
I will kill you.
Have you come to destroy me? And he's like, I'll do what I must.
I will. There's it.
And then
I will do what I must. Then you will die. Yeah. Instead of you will try, it's then you will die, because Vader's like, nah, not again, bitch, not again. Boom. They go. Fuck. Did I skip something? They go fucking. They fight each other, and it is fucking sweet. And I'm getting into it, and he's going hard. And it's like the first time I've ever seen Vader, so Vader in the previous episodes, like one-handed, doesn't even, or he fought with one-handed, and then one time he didn't fight with he didn't bring out a saber at all. And with Obi, I saw this thing where Vader has to grab, he has to go two hands, and he's even like gripping, and it's like, oh, fuck. Obi's back, and he says, you are strong. Your strength has returned, but your weakness.
Obi-Wan tries to push a boulder on him, and then Vader grabs the boulder and just yeets it into space. And he's like, just to show, it's like, look, you're strong. That's great. But I'm fucking Darth Vader. Like, you don't get it.
And so I was like enjoying the fuck out of this. And all of a sudden they cut away.
Oh, yeah.
To Reva.
So.
Oh, and this was set up a little more. This wasn't the first time we saw it. They try to they blanket this all throughout. Go ahead, Alex.
It's like, you ever been, you have some alone time, and like things are going really well, and all of a sudden,
you're like, no,
and then the scene changes, and it's like some dude's face, and it's like every time they switch over to Reva, it's like, can we just
right
fucking
when you get there,
can we just fucking not?
Because like dude's face.
What?
That's funny.
What?
Because he said, you hear him?
Yeah, I heard him.
That moment where then it cuts. The
the
director did that on purpose. So Deborah cuts to a dude's face while we're enjoying the scene, but it's Reva.
And then she's also just doing this with the camera, shaking it as violently as she can the entire fucking episode. It's like, stop it.
And turn off all the lights.
That fucking, yes. It's so muddy. And I don't know if this is in your thing, but a lot of it, like
I watched it twice.
The screen tearing. Like, there's screen tearing because, like, when he's moving, it's like he's leaving shadows behind, and it's so dark, it's hard to make out shit. And then she's shaking the camera. I get it. There's intensity. The intensity comes from the choreography, which was good this time, and probably because Hayden's probably in that actual fucking suit. I think that's actually Hayden fighting in the fucking suit with Ewan, and I thought that was well done. But no, she's got to cut away. I said, they're not going to do this, are they? And they fucking do this. And they do it at an even dumber fucking level than I thought. I thought that maybe Obi-Wan would show up before because they're happening at different times. They're just conveying it to you at the same time, right? But that's not the case. There's a reason for that. We saw it and confirmed it. It's happening at the same time. So it makes it impossible for Obi, whatever. So, but it's, they have to write it in a way. So it's like, oh my God, Reva is coming. And this guy warns Owen earlier in the episode, they're coming. So Owen has a chance to get a little bit ready. And he goes over to his place and he tells his fucking wife, I wrote her name down.
Beru.
I wrote her name down somewhere, and she literally tells him, we don't need any help. We just need you and me. You and me can stop a Grand Inquisitor or a former Grand Inquisitor with a fucking lightsaber and fucking force powers.
That's
we don't need
amazing
anybody.
Wife, though. Come on.
She's right.
Why?
She's right
She has your back. It's like, let's fucking do this. It's like, all right.
Let's fucking go, bro. It's like, all right.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, it's cool of her, and yes, I would want my wife
there
to do
you
that.
go.
Let's saddle up. Let's fucking go.
Fight.
She brings out a bunch of guns. I like that. Okay. One shitty piece of crap gun, but whatever.
They
Okay,
took
I'll
their
give.
Okay,
okay, so you like that, or are you just making fun of it?
No,
I
I was
can't
making
tell.
fun of
but
it.
it's
All right.
stupid as fuck.
I can't believe I'm seeing this, but it's literally two farmers versus Reva. Two farmers with no combat experience. Okay.
She's an intergalactic space wizard with telekinesis and telepathic powers,
know
and
she's
then two
coming.
farmers with a pistol and a
They
shotgun are
don't
gonna
leave.
Owen
They
hides behind
literally
a box for 7 hours.
Try to
waiting
set
for her.
up. Yeah, they literally try to set up a trap or something.
There's fishing line and there's cans around the farm. They're fine. They have an early warning system in place.
Oh my God.
And they told Luke to close his eyes because he can never see a lightsaber because that's important.
And again, so she's getting close, and then they cut away back to what we all want to see, and then Vader's fighting him, and Vader's getting pissed, and he's like, yeah, you may be better now, but good is evil, and good is dumb, and evil is awesome.
Yes.
And that is why you will always lose. I thought that Spice Balls right there. He goes, and that's why you will always lose, because good is dumb. Anyway, he hits his hand and does the first live-action force quake, which you've seen in the game. So they're really throwing everything in the kitchen sink here. He falls into a pit, and then Vader starts fucking chunking rocks on top of him. And
so you're telling me that Vader has the high ground and didn't mention that he had the high
That's
ground?
what yes.
Buries
I was
He's standing over
you
them?
had the
he
perfect
buries him.
opportunity.
Yeah. Now I have the high ground, master.
Nothing? He
Boom!
said nothing?
They should have said it.
Drop the fucking mic. But
would
no,
give
he
it
said something
10.
like,
10.
now I have defeated you, master, or something
You
like
know how
that.
you can sense him? You remember he was on that artificial moon, and he's like, I can sense Obi-Wan, and when he like apparently crushes him with rocks, and he's very much alive, he's like, oh, you're dead.
There's
Good
interference
enough.
with the
They just keep
with
leaving
rocks.
people. They're like, I'm sure he's dead. He died off screen somewhere. I'm
Right,
positive
because
he's
he
dead.
walks away. He's like, fuck you, and then he walks away. It's like, bro, just, okay, whatever. So then again, we cut away to the fucking subplot that nobody gives a shit about it. This, like, literally putting canon in jeopardy, and it doesn't make any sense because we needed to inject the Reva character. So Reva beats up Owen. And
He gives her a good thumb in the gut.
Yeah, he hits her a few times because she's a little weakened from her. A little weakened. I can't believe she made it all the way across this fast with no fucking guts and her spine completely eviscerated.
She took her lightsaber, which can spin real fast, and if it spins super fast, it's a hyperdrive. And so she flew from that planet to this other planet and just goes.
I think that
zoom.
happens. I think that happens in Rebels where they
Not
use the thing
through
to fly.
space,
Not through
though.
space.
At
and
hyperspeed.
it's this level of writing that she would have had to done that.
She fucking Mary
Because-
Poppins her way, like just zoom.
Or she had time to visit the Boba Fett.
Boba the Fett?
I
like that song.
You know, the cyberpunks.
Yeah.
So she had time to go to the cyberpunks to get
Why
her
would you
chest
remind
repaired.
me of those?
Oh, yeah. You get your guts fixed.
You know
at the
how
machine.
long it takes to
God.
get repaired and to recover? Well, all of that happens in the instant that she's in Tatooine.
Yeah. We know that.
Because, right, isn't that doctor at Tatooine?
Yeah.
He's there. Or no, is that a different desert planet? I don't know. Somebody fucking look
No,
it up.
it's
But it was
definitely
dumb
Tatooine.
as fuck. So, anyways, she's fine now. No, she's a
Oh,
little
maybe it
hurt, and he manages to take her, but he still gets his ass beat up.
And his knee
And
gets
then
hurt.
and he's like, she's coming. His wife gets a nice hit in there.
Yeah.
All right.
She gets a
Good,
good
good
slap.
on her, but then she.
And Luke climbs out.
But no
and
one
he doesn't
dies.
see it.
No,
think
he
he did.
sees. No,
I don't
had
think he
to have
sees it.
fucking
His
seen the
hand
light.
was already
I was
out.
like, if you fucking do it, and Luke sees a goddamn red lightsaber, that's it. You are fucking bankrupt.
His head was out.
Now, I was looking very carefully, and if you want to get technical, then Luke had his back turned, I think. But he's hearing motherfucking, sabers and shit and fucking shit happening outside. But he's a dumb kid, I guess. Luke is fucking dumb.
For all he knows, there's Tusken
That's
Raiders.
what the
'cause
series
they
wants
said
you to know.
It's Tusken Raiders.
Luke is fucking dumb, and he can't tell the difference between a Tusken Raider and a crazy-ass fucking human lady running after him with a fucking saber. Fine. Leia's the most smartest, wonderful princess in all of the galaxy, and Luke is fucking idiotic, stupid little kid. Anyways, so, fucking hell, man.
Then we
So he
cut
runs
back.
away. He runs away, and she runs out there, and she's like, "Yeah!" We haven't had enough. Reva yells, runs after him. Then we go back to the thing that we all wanted to see, which is the battle.
Obi-Wan's
So
stuck.
Obi-Wan is stuck, and he has he needs to get the inner strength. This is what I thought. Maybe he might commune with Qui-Gon and get some help, but no, he thinks real hard about what he cares about most and what he needs to protect and what he loves. And we see a bunch of scenes of Leia. Not a single Luke. Okay, fine.
there's a
There was
couple
one Luke. There was a single Luke where he goes like this. But it was mostly Leia. And then he gets all the strength that he needs. And he fucking blows all the rocks away. And then he comes after, he leaps up out of the thing like a werewolf. And he goes after Vader. Vader senses him last minute. Boom, boom. Now Vader's on the back foot, man. And he's like, holy shit. And then I was like, all right, we're going to get a new badass scene. But he goes all... I can't tell if I like this or I hate this.
The rocks.
It made me laugh, so that means I think I hate it, right? Because he raises 1,000 rocks into
He's
the
been
sky.
playing Elden Ring, bro. The meteor strategy's strong.
Fuck
I
yeah.
wish I could say that, but it is, again, so they called back Last Jedi here. They're calling back Rise of the Skywalker, where Rey can levitate herself. She's been levitating rocks in The Last Jedi. And if she progressed, you eventually would have been able to throw rocks, right? So they got to tie that in. So she pulls a ray on Vader, or he pulls a ray on Vader. And then it's funny because it comically hits Vader with 100 rocks.
But they're like styrofoam because they're
Yeah,
not even moving.
they're
He
not.
just
He's
gets hit with them. And
he's just doing this. And even the saber is like, it's so weird looking. It's funny.
I thought he was
And
going to
it
call
didn't need to
timeout
be.
halfway
Yeah,
through.
whoa.
Time out. Stop.
No
Stop
fair.
throwing
Stop
rocks.
throwing rocks. Even though he threw a rock or two himself, but whatever. So, and then we cut away again to motherfucking Reva. Reva is
On pursuit.
Luke is like, I think Luke sees her. Because I can't see, it's so fucking dark. You see, like, it's either
can see
his
a little
butt or
bit.
his head, and he's dodging between rocks, running from Reva. So he has to have seen her, but no, he's a dumbass kid. He doesn't notice that she's in black armor, and she's coming after him, and she's a Tusken Raider. But anyway, so she uses the Force on him, which I guess trips him.
Knocks him out.
And knocks him out. So that's our excuse. Luke was knocked out the whole time. No, I don't want to hear anything. Luke was knocked out the whole time. That's how it fits canon. He was dumb. He's fine. And then she comes up to hit him with her saber because her saber's engaged now. But he's knocked out, so he doesn't see the saber. And she envisions herself as a kid. And so she can't do it.
Change of heart.
And you know what? I could have bought the twist. In fact, guys, I'm going to say something that I know is going to shock you. I could like Reva. I could like this character, but the way it was filmed, the way it was presented, the way she was directed to act, and the perspective and saving it for this big reveal that we all saw coming, it doesn't work like this. Because she's done so much fucked up shit and irredeemable shit. But I get it, Joe. Maybe it was the Vader. Yeah, she sees flashes of Vader not only hurting her when she was a little kid, but then Vader who just hurt her. So she's fresh off her trauma, Joe. She's fresh off her trauma, and she decides she can't kill a little kid. She already had a weakness for Leia. Fine. The turn, the twist, it kind of works, but it could have been even better, is what I'm saying. It kind of works. And I can admit that. And she doesn't want to kill the kid. And then, so the next scene, she bring in the kid, or does...
No,
it goes back, and then we go back to Obi-Wan for like the fourth, fifth time. So, and now Obi has the upper hand, and so he's fucking he destroys that little box. You know that little box that calls Vader's mother to come pick him up? You remember that?
Yes.
Triumph, the insult comic ducks. He fucking destroys that box, and Anakin's having trouble breathing. That cool sound. And then motherfucking Obi-Wan just goes fucking Troy on his ass and does like a leaping fucking strike and hits the helmet. And it was cool as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is one of the best lightsaber battles in Star Wars. It's not the fast fucking, from the Revenge of the Sith, but if you look at some of the lightsaber battles before Revenge of the Sith, they were kind of lazy, kind of hokey on a green screen. This one, if it weren't ruined with all the shaky cam, I thought it was well done and well choreographed. So anyways, and now we get a moment that reaches 10 out of motherfucking 10. So it's so crazy because this episode is so...
very low, very high.
Very low, very highs. And so we get this great moment where Anakin, you see him through it. I was like, okay, that's what they got Hayden. They got to do it. It doesn't matter that, this has happened already. Ahsoka in the cartoon series.
Yeah, well, what's crazy is like this part of the episode is really amazing. Like I really enjoyed it. And then I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, isn't this like stolen? Isn't this Dave Filoni? Dave Filoni did this in Rebels.
Ahsoka cut the helmet. She could see him. And Anakin's like, tells Obi-Wan, Anakin's gone. I am what remains. And then he goes, I'm sorry. And he's just in tears, like fucking you see your friend and you're like, man, I fucking left you. I'm sorry for it all. I fucking felt it. Ewan McGregor's a great fucking actor. And so is Hayden at this point because I see it in Hayden's face. And you can see he's like, you didn't kill Anakin. I did. And then you can...
This was from
blue
light to red light.
It's got the Sith eyes. You get this is where Deborah is inspired again, where she's it's got the red and then it goes from blue to red, and he's like, not just like I'm gonna kill you. I killed him just like I'm gonna do to you, and I love the voice modulator, like going back and forth between Hayden and James. Mm-hmm. This is so fucking cool. And this kind of the whole thing helps fix the line, I was but a learner, now I am the master, because motherfucking I've never seen Vader get his ass handed to him like that. And it was fucking cool. Like, Vader's untouchable, and Obi wrecked his shit.
That makes sense. Like, you should have killed me when you had the chance.
Yeah. He wrecked his shit. It was so fucking cool. Now, back to this abomination of a side plot. Reva actually, uses the Force on Luke to knock him over. And then I'm like, nothing short of a mind wipe. We'll cover this up, I was thinking. But then, no, he was knocked out. So that's how it happened. She brings him back. Oh, no, Uncle, Owen thinks he's dead. And his wife thinks he's dead. No, he goes, he's still alive. And they're like, oh, wow. And Obi-Wan was like, oh my gosh, thank you. You're the best Jedi in the universe. You need to join us, and you're the most awesome person ever. And
he
you
got off
saved
the planet.
Star Wars.
He
Goodbye.
got off the planet with no trouble, even though they were chasing him.
So hold on. I just jumped.
Yeah, I was
so
like, wait a
far
minute,
ahead.
'cause they went over there
so
too.
he beats Vader, and then he gets on his ship, and then he goes into space, and I shit you not, he fucking hits hyper jump. And I turned to Alex and I'm like, what the fuck?
They had hyperspeed the whole
He had hyperspeed the whole time. So when they're fucking, he could have jumped into hyperspace at any time. But okay, fine. So he jumps into hyperspace. Well, the whole point is, Joe, he didn't use hyperspace because he needed to get to the planet.
You can get all the women and the children on that thing. You can get them to safety.
No, it was a tiny ship. It was a tiny ship,
It's definitely
Alex.
big enough for the women and the children to get on
Maybe
there and get
the
the
women
fuck out
and the
of
children,
there.
fine, including Leia, and they're gonna fucking.
Yeah, it would have been totally
fine. So they
fine.
technically had 3 ships. Let me point this out all the way from episode 5 or 4, where they told him, where Obi was like, "I need to get Leia off this planet." I said, "No, can't. There's no room on the ship." What about that second ship?
That has a drop ship in it.
That has a drop ship that is hyper jump capable in that one. Can I take that second ship? No, it doesn't exist until Vader sees it. What about that third ship? That doesn't exist until the writers need it. Anyway, so he hyper jumps. And I thought that all this was happening at different times because I was like, there's no way that Reva is chasing around Luke for 17 hours and then this. But no, it's confirmed right there because Obi-Wan feels Luke is in danger at that moment, and he has to fly, and then he has to land, and then he has to run, and then Reva comes back with Luke's body. So now we're caught up. Mm-hmm. And so she brings back Luke, and now she's a good guy. Nope.
Change your heart. Anyone can change.
As you. He killed everyone, and I couldn't kill, who you become is now up to you. No, motherfucker, strike her down, kill her. She killed so many Jedi. She killed so many younglings. It doesn't make. In her base, she has a pickled youngling. She has to pass that motherfucking little kid every morning when she goes to work. And all of a sudden, she can't fucking kill kids or chop off innocent women's hands off or fucking murder and hang Jedis in brutal ways. But no, she's a good guy because the plot dictates so, and she needs a fucking spin-off series. Like I said, if they would have, I'll get to that later. We'll talk about the aftermath of the series in just 1 minute. So, this was dumb, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah. It's not over yet, though.
Keep going.
So, after that, we get Obi-Wan packing up his shit from his cave. He goes
wait, one more thing. I just remembered this line. You honored them. Obi-Wan tells Reva that she honored them.
Yeah.
After everything Reva did. Because she has this one turn. Okay, fine.
And
then he leaves her alive. Go ahead.
Yeah, he packs up his stuff and then goes back to the Owen farm.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, I'm going to leave. He's like, I thought you were going to keep your distance. He's like, I will. He's about to leave. Owen's like, hey, do you want to meet Luke? And he says the infamous line.
He said, hello there.
Hello there.
He said the thing. I will admit I liked it. I loved it. Hello there.
So he meets Luke.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I guess Luke is a dumb fucking idiot. Leia's the smartest in the universe, and Luke is the dumbest in the universe because he doesn't fucking remember this guy. Gave him the thing. He
introduced himself as Ben Kenobi, right?
Sure,
and Kenobi is a popular last name.
Whatever. No, it isn't. And so we got that.
Then after that, he's riding away in his little. I don't know what it is.
No, hold on,
before
Joe.
that,
we go to planet Alderaan.
Oh,
and Leia is doing her. She's like fucking commando. Cause she's like the best character this whole fucking. You better like 9-year-old Leia. Or you're an idiot. So she's a and she puts on her holster because they gave her a holster. Obi-Wan gave her a holster. She's like, "Where's my blaster?" And it's like, "I'm not giving you a blaster. You're 9. Then why give her a holster in the first place?" Okay, fine. So she gets a holster, and she's like the leader of the rebellion, and she's like the best thing ever. I was, all right, I get it. And she goes out, and Bail Organa, the dumbest idiot in the universe, even dumber than Luke for sending the fucking message, says, "Oh, cool." She's like, "You told me there are many ways to lead, and I will lead through an iron fist with blasters." And then Obi-Wan lands his ship and comes out, and she's like, "Lola!" she thought Obi-Wan was gonna die and never be seen him again. But she goes, "Gotta go over Lola. Lola, I missed you." And fuck that old dude. No, it's not like that. Anyway, so yeah, you get that scene.
And she knows that he's Obi-Wan, and she had this. So this whole
So
thing
they
is
have
like,
to
oh
set
no,
up-
she only knows him as Ben Kenobi. When she asks for help later on in the very next movie, she doesn't know that it's the same person. No, she absolutely knows. She knows. She calls him specifically Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and they have to set up the line, "Obi-Wan, you're my only hope." And he says, "If you ever need me, you can call on an old man." And so she needs him in the future to escort the Death Star plans.
Yeah. To the droids. They need to get
the droids,
to the
rebellion. And she trusts him to do it. Even though she also simultaneously says, you served my father.
In the Clone Wars.
In the Clone Wars. And then there was that one time that you saved my entire fucking life, and we developed an amazing relationship, and you gave me this fucking holster.
That's
you
too
remember this
long.
holster?
That's too
and
long.
you remember Lola?
That's too long. He's
Right.
like, you helped my dad. All right.
No,
Lola-
continuity is not as important to
Lola
them
is
anymore.
never seen of again. Anyways, we do get Darth Vader back on Mustafar. He's got his helmet repaired already. He's fucking pissed. And Emperor cameo. You seem agitated, my friend. I love him. This is good Emperor.
I like
this
one.
is good Emperor, bad Emperor, Rise of Skywalker, good Emperor, this. And an actual cameo by McDermott, and it was amazing, and I fucking loved it. And he's like, you've been too focused on Obi, and this is the moment that Vader cuts himself off, says, fuck it, you're my master, because he called Obi a master. There's no multiple masters. You're my master. Even though he was already his master, and he was already devoted to him, but he double devotes to him now.
No, Obi doesn't mean anything
That's
to me.
for
I'm
real.
gonna stop.
real.
I'm not gonna stop hunting him.
Transformation is complete.
Yeah.
And then we get the Imperial March. And hearing that music again was awesome. They only play it for like 10 seconds, but it made me realize how absolute shit the music has been in this series. Just in the background, like every time they kind of remind you, they take little hints of actual good Star Wars music and John Williams. It's great. Other than it's all generic crap. Anyways, then we go to what you were saying before, where Obi-Wan cleans up his fucking house, and
Goes back to the
goes
Owen
back to
farm.
the other. And I was like, oh, Qui-Gon, because I've been asked, guys, since before this fucking thing came out, I wanted to see Liam Neeson return as Qui-Gon. So of course, this next scene I fucking loved. But it was a little weird. It came out of nowhere. It was like just like unceremonious kind of thing, but it was like, I guess they were trying to present he's there the whole time, and he sees him.
He's like, the whole time? Shit.
Yeah, he's like, you just.
Oops.
I was here the whole time. You're just now able to see me. Now, hurry up. We got a lot of work to do. And I'm like, yeah. He's going to teach him how to do the Force Ghost thing. So then he'll says, strike me down, and I'll be even more powerful than ever before to Vader, right? And it's honestly, like, I know this is supposed to be a miniseries, and there was season 2 rumors. I would watch a fucking Liam Neeson and fucking Ewan McGregor buddy cop film where they train and he does the Yoda training.
If they do that and just do
I would
adventures,
be
I wouldn't be
fucking
opposed to it. But
Because they got Liam back. Come on, man. Liam. Qui-Gon. I fucking love Qui-Gon. Even though he's the most stoic man in the universe, it still could be pretty fun. Anyways, Qui-Gon, he's like, well, it took you long enough. Qui-Gon says, come on, we've got a ways to go. Setting up season 2 and a fucking Reva spinoff since he let Reva go.
I look forward to that.
Oh, Obi-Wan calls Darth Vader Darth. Kind of like a dismissal.
Well, they have.
diss.
Otherwise, it doesn't make any fucking sense that when he calls him Darth in New Hope.
Darth.
Because he's been calling him Vader the whole time, or Anakin, and then at one time,
I'm
or in A
calling
New
you-
Hope, he calls him Darth.
I'm
It's like,
calling you Darth now
that's
because you
weird.
suck.
It's his first name. Darth.
I mean, George Lucas was
Last name Vader.
originally I think George was supposed to be Darth as his first name, but no, then it became a title. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I do like how that when he got hit in the head with the saber, that kind of explains that weird looking scar on his head in the thing. I was thinking about that.
That could have been from Rebels, or something.
But I think and when you said Ahsoka
this one.
saw that same thing, I think Starkiller also. It's been a long time since I played those 2 games, but I think the same thing happened with Starkiller, and he did the thing, and you see half his face. So it happened 3 times.
Well, I only saw it once. Don't ruin this for me.
Joe, it's happening over and over. It's like poetry, Joe. It's
Shit.
like poetry.
Bad poetry.
Anyway, season 2, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Adventures win. Sign me up. You got.
We'll see.
And Rev is dead in my headcanon because if she's dark side and what keeps the dark side, what keeps her going is that vengeance in the dark side. It's what keeps her going. Like, that's the thing that dark side users get, is that they survive wounds and they can keep the fuel on anger. As soon as she lets go of that anger,
I mean, she's so angry.
her spine is not there. Her guts aren't there. She's been cut and slashed 2 times.
She found them and put them together. And then somehow somehow they left her there for dead, but she found the ship and took off and beat.
So she
beat
lets go of the
everyone.
dark side. She's dead immediately. Anyways. All right, guys. Let's break it down. Go ahead with final verdicts.
Do final verdicts. For me, I don't know. Like, I really, really enjoy the lightsaber scenes and all that stuff, and the emotional scene between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I'm thinking probably like a 6.
And Qui-Gon.
And Qui-Gon. I'm thinking more like a 6 because they have like reused assets. I was like, wait, I saw this in Last Jedi whenever they're trying to go away, and the stupidity of the decisions that they make. The way some of this stuff is shot, like it's a shaky cam that I didn't like. It's too fucking dark. It just...
Damn, Joe.
I'd say 6.
Yeah.
Only because of that, but then I find out it's been done 3 times.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
it's my first time watching it. Still enjoyed it. A 6.
Sorry for ruining.
Yeah. I'm going to be a little harsher on this. I think that the sheer stupidity of this episode, the fact that they just ignore the fact that TIE fighters exist, that they have other working ships that they immediately show, that they eventually show that one of the ships had a hyperdrive that worked, and they just everything doesn't work. Like, there's some really, really amazing things, but it's like being really, really excited that you're getting a car that's going really fast, but ignoring the fact that you're falling off a cliff. Like, that's what this whole season felt like for me. Like, there's really cool parts, but if you look at the greater context of the situation you're in, you're like, we're fucked. Star Wars is fucked right now. Across
They
the
took
board.
a 1-episode story and stretched it out 6 episodes and concentrated on a shit that we didn't need and a subplot with Reva that we didn't need. When you see some good stuff at the end there, of course, everybody's high on it right now, right? Yeah, well, you see that battle.
It took you so long
That
to
final
get there.
battle, though.
But
Come on, Alex.
No, man.
The
Like,
final battle, man.
there was some really cool lightsaber stuff, but like honestly, there's really great lightsaber stuff that we can see.
10 out of 10, Alex, the lightsaber battles.
But yeah, like I said, the lightsaber battle was really, really good, but everything else surrounding it was not very good.
Correct.
And so it's incredibly stupid. The context of the episode doesn't make sense. I don't like a lot of the characters that they're pushing. I don't like a lot of the other series that they're working on right now. I think that Star Wars is in trouble when it's not specifically, Filoni and Favreau working on things, because those people truly care. The best part of this episode was something they stole from Dave Filoni. That's rough. So I don't think that this is average. I think this is insane. You cannot think about this, because if you do, you'll be in my spot. I think this is below average television.
I enjoy the entertainment.
Like this episode
I
out of 10
consume product.
gets 3 solid points for just the lightsaber fight, and that's amazing. Like one broken up scene that's constantly broken up and then ripped away to something bad. For it to get 3-4 points from that is a lot, but this is below average. I'm going to give this episode a 4. And I'm acknowledging how amazing some of the parts were. Everything else sucked.
Yeah, I totally see you, and I feel like betrayed because I was high on this series when it came in, and now I regret giving it such high marks at the beginning. I felt those episodes were all right and they were working, and then it just fell apart. And when I realized what shit we were in and the shit caliber of writing and the theater of the crappy improv theater of just shove everything quick. No, the next thing, she's already there, and then they're doing this, and no TIE fight, no, we don't need it to make sense. We just need it to move on. I hate that. I hate it because it takes me out of it. The lightsaber battle was amazing. Qui-Gon was amazing. The moments of acting hit 10 out of 10.
The Emperor.
With Ewan. I can't forget the Emperor either. Joe, don't fuck with me right now, because I will give it something it doesn't deserve. Look, I am consumed product. I am clap Star Wars I like. because I literally just saw it. But I know the more I think about it, the more I'm going to get pissed. I liked it. I was going to give it a 7 out of 10. But like the last one where I gave it a 7 out of 10, I went down to a 6. This is probably, I'm just going to preemptively give it a fucking 6 now. Yes, I like the ending. Yes, I thought it was a satisfying ending. But now having time to reflect on it and thinking of all of the stupidity I had to get through to get to that part. And then, and then again, yes, it's been done with Ahsoka, and yes, it's been done with Starkiller, but I don't think it takes too much away from it, so I still really fucking like that scene. And to me, it was definitely like those last 2 episodes, stretched, and then Reva thrown in.
Stuff you
Why?
want.
And guys, I think at the end of this, we can now see, so 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for me. Even though, how can I give this a better rating? This was I had higher highs than the last episode. I don't know, man. This is such a flawed and inconsistent series that I have. It's very difficult.
It just took you out of the immersion because it was so stupid. It's like, wait, this doesn't make sense.
And here's the most insulting thing. Like Disney fucking up the sequel trilogy by not having a plan and executing it so horribly that I never want to see Rise of the Skywalker again, The Last Jedi. They literally fucked it up. I think they fucked it up with Reva. I think Reva would have worked better in a film format. So if you take this, instead of it being 6 hours long or whatever it is, and make it a film, and you see that, like, her character beats, and if they didn't telegraph her identity so obviously and clearly at the beginning, or make it be more of a surprise and play her far more subtly or conflicted when she's doing these things, people may have wanted that spinoff. People may have loved her character as she's trying to hide from the Inquisitors and do, having that kind of thing. It could have worked. And it just doesn't. It just didn't. They blew it. And yet another thing they blew here. What could work as a spinoff for her? They're going to do it. They're going to do it anyway, regardless of whether we want it or not. So I was thinking to myself, what would I want to see? Number 1, I don't want to see it.
That's what I was going to say.
Number 2, I
don't
want to see it. Number 3, if you're going to do it anyway, I guess you can have her kill off all the Inquisitors and then lose to Vader again at a second time, tragically. While also throughout the series being tortured by all the actions she's taken. I'm so tired of these, we're switching to good and then they die. You switch to good and then they die. Let's switch to good and have that motherfucker be fucking tortured by all the gross ass shit that they did. And maybe over the course of her series, you would like her and say, yeah, they did. They kind of fucked her up in her depiction in Obi-Wan. It should have been in this series, right? She should have had her own series from the beginning or a film.
I think it actually could work. If they actually don't do it after the fact, or they do it before the fact. I want to see Reva infiltrate the Inquisitors as someone who isn't really dark side, and then I want to see a prequel of her, and I want to see her fucking murdering Jedis, and then in her private quarters be tortured about it.
Yes,
her thinking that she's got to keep the secret from Darth, and actually have this good person be doing really, really dark things to ultimately in a really horrible way.
We're gonna fix it for you, Disney.
But I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they'll do a sequel that I don't give a shit
about. And then
about.
also it can go back and forth between the pre and the post.
Yeah, and then just having someone live with their decision. I think that could be compelling.
And maybe I could like that character in Moses.
It's not gonna happen though, unfortunately.
Maybe not. So that's it. Now it's time for our final series verdicts. The series as a whole is now completely out. Consider everything. I'm going to go back and see what I gave. I was way too fucking lenient so many times. I got 8 out of 10 for episode 1, 7 out of 10. Episode 2, 7 out of 10. Episode 3, did I really do that? I gave it an 8, even though I wrote lackluster and meh. What is wrong with me? And then
blinded by light.
And then episode 4 is when it all went to shit.
Is that the rescue?
And it slapped me out of the whatever I was in. Not even I could excuse it because I was trying to excuse everything. Yeah. That's when I realized, no, 3 out of 10 I gave it. And then episode 5 I thought got a little better. I gave it a 7, but I took it down to a 6 in the in the final verdicts, and then at the very end, I gave it a 6. So, final verdicts, 1 rating for the whole series, Joe.
5. This was an average one. After everything that we've been through, there's so many fucking lows, and this doesn't make sense. It's just so stupid. It pulled me out. I honestly started losing interest in watching this. I wouldn't have continued if we didn't have to, because it was so stupid, and especially number 4, which really pushed me over.
Yes.
I'm like, really, what the fuck is this? This is like some kind of Scooby-Doo shit. And reusing assets on this one with Last Jedi, one of the films that we fucking hate.
Yeah.
It's just average television for me.
Yeah.
5.
I don't think I'm going to average together. Like I was trying to think of like what I gave it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something
Let's
that
not
works.
do that.
That doesn't work for me because I mean ultimately you watch the whole thing and then you kind of understand like the whole
Where it was
the
going.
context of like how everything works, where it fits. And I don't think this is very good. I have a lot of problems with the storylines. I think I have a lot of problems with the way that they set up the characters and the fact that it doesn't seamlessly fit into A New Hope in a nice neat way. I'm constantly thinking, wait a minute, what about these? How did these characters all met, but then they act like they didn't meet? Even in the finale, I don't like that they ended like Obi-Wan remembers and just thinks about Leia, and all of a sudden he's the most powerful Force user in the galaxy, save for the Emperor. He sat in a rock pile and thought about 2 kids, and he can beat Darth Vader. Fuck you.
I love how Obi-Wan is powerful, but the way they depicted it, he went from no power to extreme power.
In episode 5, they telegraphed this. It's the best thing about the whole series is episode 5, where they're showing this lightsaber duel pre-Attack of the Clones, and they're showing one of the ways that you can beat Anakin. He's more powerful than you. You can't beat him. You can just distract him long enough to get your way. And this, they just goes, oh, he thinks about the kids and now he's more powerful. He didn't outthink him. He didn't out-strategize him. He just thought about kids and now he's more powerful. And it just didn't work for me in the end. This doesn't fit in seamlessly with the original trilogy. I don't like this series. I don't think that it's even average. I think that this is below average television. I think that this is another absolute miss along with Boba Fett, where they have someone who is in charge. The director for Boba Fett didn't fit. The director here did not fit. There's so many scenes that just don't work. And I'm sorry if you like the Leia chase scenes, they don't fucking work. There's so many shaky scenes that don't work.
Nobody likes
there's two attack ships that come inside the Inquisitor's base. That scene doesn't work. There's so many individual scenes that are so poor that I don't think Deborah Chow was the right person for this job. I don't think Robert Rodriguez was the last person. And I'm terrified for Star Wars going forward if it's not specifically Dave and Dave running the show.
Yep.
So this is below average television for me. This is something I do not want to watch in the future. This is something I don't want to think about when I watch the original trilogy, which I still will watch that. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Tough love.
Yeah. I love Star Wars.
Honestly, amen. Great. You could really skip this whole fucking series. Just watch the last fucking episode. And then you get... And the last episode is a great microcosm of the whole fucking series. Ridiculously silly, shitty writing at the beginning. Cool moments between Anakin and fucking Obi-Wan. And then a little bit of a payoff at the end. But then a subplot that is like, huh? Who? How? Why? No, that's dumb. Reva.
Yeah.
So, you could literally maybe just watch the last 2 episodes or parts of 7 or parts of 5 and all of 6 and then just be done with it, really. Oh, man. I gotta go. So much of it doesn't work, and we cannot encourage this, guys. Yes, I know my average doesn't average out because I was high on the series initially because I was hoping it would lead somewhere. I was hoping it would give it context to the shit later on, and it doesn't. It's inconsistent. Obi-Wan's cut off from the Force, but he's fucking John Wick with goddamn fucking, laser rifle, whatever. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 6, 5, 4. Right?
5.
4. Guys, don't do this again. Deborah, she did great on her Mandalorian episodes. But I think this was maybe too much.
It's two disappointing ones.
something.
Boba Fett, I was fucking excited for.
See, yeah, and I don't know what's worse, this or Boba, Joe. What do you think is worse? I think it could
They're
be this is worse because
they're both bad.
they're both really bad. But it's like Boba, I don't really care. I was like, yeah, Boba's cool, but like here you're playing with fucking like legacy characters.
Every single time I watch A New Hope, there's going to be the taint of this episode
Yeah.
smeared on it.
It's
now,
like-
I watch any other movies, Boba Fett I don't necessarily care about, right? But I will be watching the ones that I want to watch again,
Yeah.
and I'm going to think of this below average fucking series constantly.
I
Going,
forgot what
hey,
we
remember
gave-
that part didn't make sense because they didn't watch the fucking original trilogy?
Yeah. This is as bad as Boba. I forgot what we gave Boba, but this
Pretty low.
and
probably
and,
average
and
or
I
something.
never thought that, I'd be like, okay, we got Boba out of the way, let's get to Obi-Wan. We'll be all right. When you think about it, we're not all right. It was the same thing in a different way.
And now you got another one that you don't care about.
What?
Riva.
Riva spin-off series?
Yep.
Please no. All right. Anyways, think that's it for this one. I wrote some things down from the previous episode, and real quickly some contradictions that I noticed here that I wrote down. So I know this is already running kind of long, but hey, this is the fucking finale and the whole series as a whole. So this series spared us Uncle Fester, right? We didn't need to look at his fucking cabeza the whole fucking series, right? Because if you're going to fuck it up like that, right? Because it could have been really cool seeing the Grand Inquisitor alongside Vader, but not that Grand Inquisitor. So I'm kind of glad they spared us Uncle Fester, but not like this. And giving us Riva the way she was depicted. And it kills me because I'm going to have to fix her in my head and headcanon her in my head because she's now a major part. She is the only one that got that close to Luke and almost killed Luke, other than Vader. It's crazy. Anyways, and the contradictions are through the roof. She wants to kill Jedi, cuts random people's heads off, and she annoys even her peers. The Sith would have fucking killed her. Vader would have killed her, but she has plot armor throughout this whole fucking series to the point where it's like, I give up. This is lazy. It's clumsy. It's forced. The writing was simply bad. And I know what people are already typing. Well, all those things. Star Wars has always been funny. It's always had
Campy
jokes,
and
and it's
silly.
always been it's for children, Joe. I'm like,
You're right.
what do you say to that?
Well, you're totally right. I mean, it's always has been. The issue is at the beginning of all of these movies, we didn't have these absolutely ridiculous, idiotic segments that knock you out. Suspension of disbelief is so wildly important to storytelling that once you start you do too many stupid things, you're gonna knock people out. I have a low tolerance. I completely self-admit that.
I do
I
too.
have a low tolerance. Something knocks me out, and I have a hard time getting back in. The original trilogy didn't have too many really stupid things in there, and the trilogy
thought
does
about
have
it.
it in the third one. There's some you're telling me these fucking little teddy
That's
bear
because
monsters.
George Lucas's wife went through a script and script doctored
Yeah,
him
and
helped
so
him.
this has
For
issues
the original.
where there's no suspension of disbelief, and if you have that and you loved it, I'm not judging you. I really am not, but I just didn't like this, and I think that this series does not work if you think about it for too long.
Yeah. And I have thought about it, and at least the previous episodes. Leia, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It feels weird in my mouth. Let me first say this. So many people defending this bad writing only encourages more bad writing and the quality of these shows to degrade over time. You have to point this out to them because otherwise they'll just keep it going. Leia being a little Mary Sue takes away from her character growth. Depowering her in the Force as she gets older makes no sense. She is so powerful right now. She's so intelligent right now. She's
She
so
beat
smart.
Reva. Reva was trying to get in her head. She's like, nope, I'm going to block you.
So you're telling me she's that smart and she never considers the Force on her own? Like before Luke trains her in one of those films, Return of the Jedi, after Return of the Jedi, we simply didn't need the entire series to be a Leia rescue mission and glorify Leia. Yes, I mean, Leia, she can fucking reconfigure this entire blast door And this is not the same Leia. This is writers and, the sensibilities of today empowering women and bringing her up, because think about this. She is able to hotwire and rewire so a blast door opens in this series. What does the much more older, much smarter, much more talented Leia do in Return of the Jedi? There's a moment in Return of the Jedi where a blast door needs to be opened by Han Solo, and she just sits there and doesn't know what to do. She can't help. She's not helping. She gets shot in the shoulder. I remember that specific part. And I've been watching other videos of people, kind of picking at what Leia can do in previous episodes for what she could do in the future. Yes, I get it. It's writing. Yes, we want to build her up. But it just shows you that it's like, we need Leia. We need Leia right now to do something. I don't give a fuck whether it makes sense or not. We need to do this. It's like, all right. And I just hope for more flashbacks, more Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen's reprising the roles and having that. And that was ruined by the Leia rescue mission, by the Reva side plot, by all this other the past junk that doesn't really work. And we already talked about the second ship and how it was there.
Third ship.
And then if there's a second ship and they can all fit on one ship, why didn't they let Obi take off? And the third ship.
Well, there's a third ship that has a working hyperdrive on it already.
Yeah.
He could have taken from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And once he's off the planet.
And why does Vader let Reva go? Why does Vader let Reva go? Because she found the path. But when putting the path at risk, Vader says himself that the path doesn't matter, right? The sole directive is Obi-Wan. So there's no reason for him to be forgiving to her multiple times, because the path doesn't matter. She's constantly letting Obi-Wan go away because she's giving him the path, but the path doesn't matter. A basic logic pass would have caught this, but again, it is the writers putting their own action figures into the films, into the trilogies, into the things, and then playing with them and making those action figures that they brought into the story more important than Vader and Grand Inquisitor. Get these fucking old toys out of here. My toys are the best toys. They'll fix Star Wars. Except they don't. Nope. They're fucking bullcrap. Anyways, and the plot armor was so damn thick. And I have to wonder, now it's going to sound conspiracy theory, what Kathleen Kennedy has done here. Oh, Joe, stop mentioning Kathleen Kennedy. You're hating on women, and this is not her fault. She gave all of the power to Deborah Chow and all these other people, and she trusts in those. Wrong. Because there's an interview where she said originally the scripts were too bleak. They were too bleak. She had them rewritten. She actively helped to change them to what they are now. So I'm more curious to what that original version of Obi-Wan, the series, was like.
Deborah Chow
before Kathleen
had
Kennedy
an interview
came in.
which said that this was going to be a character study, not unlike Logan and the Joker.
She said that.
Deborah Chow specifically said that.
Those
That's what this
examples.
was going to be. She said Logan and the Joker. And I was like, holy shit, what are they doing? Like, that's kind of crazy. I want to see that kind of thing. And then we got little kid chase sequence and then space chase sequence.
Nothing happens in this series unless it was through insane stupidity. The fucking fake Jedi guy dropping the communicator for no fucking
Bail
reason.
Organa releasing the most guarded secret in the entire galaxy, going, "Hey Obi-Wan, just in case you were captured, I'm sending you this unencrypted message."
You just see the writers in the writing room.
Luke that lives at like 1750 middle of nowhere fucking avenue.
It's like, this doesn't make sense. Get the fuck out.
The second stomach excuse on the Grand Inquisitor is so dumb. Does he not? Does he have 2 or 3 spines too? Does Reva have 2 or 3 spines?
Yeah. Well, you can't kill an Adams. Uncle Fester's real hard.
Fester.
I mean, I saw Adam Sandler.
I don't
too.
know.
You can't kill that guy.
I guess, and here's the biggest thing. If you've played Fallen Order as Cal Kestis, the second sister, Reva is the second sister. We already did this. The third sister is the second sister done over again.
They didn't play it.
They didn't fucking play it. They did know that that Inquisition base was in it, so they had to have known that you can go underwater. They reused that part. I
There's
don't
an
know,
intern.
man.
They're hiring writers. They're like, hey, have you ever watched any sort of Star Wars? Like, nah,
we
man, it's not my
injected
thing. It's like,
Reva.
you're hired.
We injected Reva in here. You know, she didn't need to be in here. It could have been the Grand Inquisitor just fucking it up and then they escape. I guess you did. It could have been just a random other Inquisitor that dies. By the end of this, that motherfucking Inquisitor that fucked everything up and let Obi-Wan get away and all this other shit is fucking dead. Anyways, that's it, guys. I'm sure we can analyze this until our fucking, we're red in the face. But Obi-Wan ultimately was a inconsistent and flawed disappointment. Yes, there were amazing scenes. Yes, it was going all right, but it just didn't work.
Nope.
In the end, it didn't work. So it really kind of calls into question. You really need to do things right in the Star Wars universe. But I feel like the streaming service is causing them to just crank out content.
They're just fucking up the timeline and everything.
Crank out content. So I guess next is Andor. I mean, since we're not playing with any of the main characters, really, I think it has the potential to not fuck things up and to be actually good, especially if you focus on the war, the ground war, and the soldiers in the Star Wars. Maybe it could work, but I do have a concern. Are they going to do Season 2 Obi-Wan? If Qui-Gon's in there, I'll allow it. If not, no, fuck you.
If it's just him doing adventures, yes, I'm all for it. We don't need to have like these other characters.
Yeah. And honestly, I fucking hate the idea of a Reva spinoff series, but now that me and Alex talked about it, I that could fix things.
It's not gonna
They
happen,
could do
though.
it that way, and it might work. Anyways, that's our opinion. Thank you all so much for watching during this incredibly long 1 hour, 10-minute video. We will see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.